I turned 36 this year, and these are the 36 pieces of advice I'd give to my younger self. If you're in your 20s or 30s and feeling stuck or behind, this video is for you. Advice number 1, your financial situation is a mirror of your beliefs. For me, it wasn't until I started having more positive self-talk, some compassion for myself, and self-love that I was finally able to stop some of those self-sabotaging patterns that were keeping me in debt and broke all the time. So remember, it always starts with you. Forget stocks, crypto, real estate, whatever investment is hot right now. The money that you invest in yourself is always going to be the best money you've ever spent, the highest infinite ROI. The best $1,000 that I ever spent was the money I spent on a personal development program called the Landmark Curriculum. Now, whatever it is for you, whether that's books, therapy, coaching, or some other personal development program, remember that if you invest in yourself becoming the best version of you, that is going to lift up every area of your life and make you so much more effective in anything you want to do. Advice number 3 is your past does not need to define who you can become. A lot of shit happens to us in life, and if we're not careful, this stuff can really wear us down, and over time you start feeling jaded, and then your view of what's possible for you starts getting smaller and smaller. A couple years ago, a car crashed into one of my Vegas rental properties, and through some really unfortunate misunderstanding with insurance coverage, I ended up having to foot so much of the bill, and frankly, that cost me a lot of money. And while that was incredibly stressful, that I am a shitty investor, that I should just sit tight and not try to do big things in the world, but instead, I chose to see that as a learning experience, not make it mean anything about me, but rather just interpret it as feedback, as a lesson to be learned that would ultimately make me a better investor. Advice number 4, your job is not the only way to make money. There are actually 3 kinds of income, and I wish I had known sooner how much better these other 2 types of income are compared to employee income. Because business income and investment income offer you way more time freedom. Not only that, but they're way more tax efficient, and there's a whole world of possibilities where you can wake up every day making money from these sources of income and not have to go in for a paycheck. You will never save your way to becoming rich. And if you grew up in a very frugal sort of Asian household like me, where you were told how important it is to save money, you might also think that it's super important to save. But no, saving money doesn't get you anywhere. Investing money does. That's a whole nother skill set. You don't just want to save and park your money where it's not going to grow and it just shrinks due to inflation. You want to learn to invest and make that money grow. So this brings me to my next piece of advice, which is to learn how to take calculated risk. Investing is a form of taking calculated risk. Don't be like the masses of people who cling to that illusion of security and certainty. They think that just because they've got money in the bank that they're somehow safe, when really they're anything but, because like I mentioned before, inflation is eating away at that money and you're going to be much poorer 20, 30 years from now. If you're learning to take calculated risks, whether that's investing or starting a business, that will always have the highest payoff. There's a reason why entrepreneurs and investors always will make more than employees. Advice number 7, even if you want more money, rather than focusing on getting money itself, focus more on actually becoming someone of value. In other words, acquiring high value skills. So instead of thinking, how can I make more money? How can I make more money? The question to be asking is, how can I become more valuable? Whether that's learning how to code or how to prompt AI, how to become a really amazing writer or a video editor or a painter, or learn how to build houses or take really good photos, or how to be a really amazing chef, like whatever it may be, just focus to the point of obsession and become so good at it that people can't help but need and want your services and products. The money does come. Be a specialist rather than a generalist. Have you ever noticed that anyone who's extremely successful or wealthy, they're not dabblers. They have become really good at one thing, and while they might branch out and do other things later, the thing that made them successful was always that one thing. In this day and age with AI and so much information overload, it's easy to just be interested in a lot of things, to try out a lot of things, have shiny object syndrome, but the real commodity these days is focus, deep quality work from someone who has taken the time to focus on one thing and just hone their skill doing that one thing. Start before you feel ready. It's natural to want to feel confident before you go for something or try something new. If you do that, you will find yourself waiting for a really long time. I dreamed about making videos that impacted people's lives. I dreamed about this for a long time. And it wasn't until I turned 30 that I finally got the courage courage to start this YouTube channel and just do the damn thing. Because after so many years going by, I realized that if I wait to one day feel confident enough to do this thing, I will be waiting a really long time, and I did not want to wake up 40 years old and regret that I hadn't started sooner. So that is the key, to start before you feel confident. And once you start, even though you're scared, by taking action even when you're scared, that's when you're going to start to feel confident. Literally, the best money I ever spent was spending money on a stylist to help me put together some outfits. And money like this might seem frivolous, even spending money on clothes or a nice handbag or some nice shoes. Of course, do it within reason, but I think investing in your appearance, making yourself look really presentable, and you don't have to spend a lot of money to do this, by the way, goes such a long way in adding to your confidence. And when you're confident, that has positive ripple effects in every area of your life. You'll speak up more at work, so you make more money. You will be more confident approaching people, so you might get more dates, make more friends. It all starts with confidence. It just feels really good for me to know that I invest in my appearance and I take good care of myself. Really adds to my self-esteem. Advice number 11. Oh my God, this is such a big one. You are not behind, so please stop comparing yourself. By the way, this is me also telling myself what I need to hear, because it's hard to do. With social media everywhere, it's so easy to compare ourselves, but we have to remember everyone has different starting points. Some people had a huge leg up in life, and now they're just killing it at life because maybe their parents taught them really amazing things, or their family helped them out financially, and then that has a whole snowballing effect for other areas of their life. Maybe they just had the right person by their side showing them the ropes, so they got ahead. Not only that, but social media does not tell you the whole story. I can personally say, as someone who shares a lot of her life online on social media, even I don't show the whole picture. But believe me, I've got my own insecurities, fears, issues, things that I'm not able to share publicly. Being 36, I could very easily compare myself to everyone who at my age already has 2 kids and a house and all this and that. But hey, I've chosen to meet myself exactly where I'm at, and I would like you to do the same. You're right where you need to be, and from here on out, you will move forward and you will walk your own path, and that is beautiful. Advice number 12, use vision boards. I've had a vision board pretty much every year since I was in my mid-20s. Let me tell you, they really work. It's so amazing to have a visual representation of where you want to go, what you're aspiring to, and doing this around New Year's every year is really fun and inspiring, so I highly recommend it. You only rise to the level that you believe you deserve. In this video, I talked about being a giraffe versus a turtle. You can live your life up here, and this is just where you exist, or you could live your life down here, settling for whatever's only down here. The choice is up to you. No one else gets to dictate it, so you might as well set your standards high, because life is not going to give you anything more than what you ask of it. Choose yourself. No one is going to come to change your finances, pay off your debt, help you find that dream career, build a dream community. No one is coming to save you. You have to be the one that decides that your life is worth more and take full ownership of it. Give yourself permission to want more. Don't wait for someone else to give you permission. You don't need to earn the right to dream bigger or to build wealth. You wanting something for yourself, that's all the green light you need. So just go for it and be unapologetic about what you want. Advice number 16 is to get your reps in. It's human nature to want instant gratification, but the best things, the biggest results and transformations happen over time. Think of the ice cube. As the temperature goes up, the ice cube is actually melting, but for a really long time, it stays as a piece of ice. Once it hits that critical melting point temperature, all of a sudden it just melts into a puddle really quickly. And for most of that time, the ice cube was still intact, still like a frozen block. You don't see that the temperature of that cube was actually heating up and getting ready to melt. So a lot of things in life are like that. You don't see the change or the results until much later when you hit a critical mass, but you only get there by getting all those reps in before that. For example, my YouTube channel. I put in a lot of time posting videos for an entire year, and I got those reps in. That's why I got to a place where my videos were good enough, and then my channel started growing. Focus less on looking rich and focus more on actually being rich. Unfortunately, we live in a society where people will give you a lot more kudos and go ooh and ah because you drive a really nice, shiny, brand new BMW, but they're not going to be impressed by the fact that you have been investing consistently for the last decade and have built up a six-figure net worth. That person who's driving the shiny new BMW, they might actually be paying for that with a $1,000 a month car payment and have no assets and be living paycheck to paycheck. Yet that is what society values. So we really need to fight this push for external validation and focus on actually building a life of financial stability and freedom rather than just chasing status symbols. Start saving money automatically. If you're the type of person who keeps saying, one day when I have more money, when I get that raise, then I'll start saving money, chances are your expenses are going to keep rising with the amount of money you make. That's called lifestyle inflation, and you'll always find it hard to save money. That's why the only solution is to turn the order of things around and carve out the amount you're going to save, set an automatic transfer to a high-yield savings account. I have recommendations to my favorite accounts below. And don't touch it. Just think about it. Setting up one small recurring transfer today can change the entire trajectory of your life, because over time, those transfers will add up into a nice financial cushion and turn into a solid habit of paying yourself first. Start investing early, even if it's only a little bit. If you invest $1,000 a month starting at age 25, by age 60, you'd have $3.8 million. If you wait until age 35 to start, you would need to invest $2,860 a month. That's almost triple just to get to that same $3.8 million by age 60. So the longer you wait, the more of the heavy lifting you're going to have to do yourself. So even if you aren't starting with a lot, the sooner you start, the better. This actually brings me to advice number 20, which is that everything in life, including money, compounds. Our human brains are wired to think very linearly, but actually everything in life grows exponentially. If you have one good healthy habit, like taking morning walks and meditation, you do that a little bit every single day for 30 years, that compounds and you could actually live 10 years longer just because of that one little thing. Same with money, right? You invest a little bit of money when you're younger, and just because of compounding, that money grows exponentially. That's how investing $1,000 a month turns into millions of dollars later on. And the same goes with bad habits too. One bad habit of watching one too many Netflix shows and losing sleep and not working on your other goals. One little habit like that over a week doesn't do anything, but compounded over time, over 10, 20 years, who knows who you could have become if you hadn't had that one little habit. So whenever you do anything, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, think of the compounding effect of that one action, and that will help you move a lot more intentionally. So if you really want to move the needle on a goal in your life, make it a priority. And we're always in control of what is a priority. So if you haven't had time for something, let's just cut the BS and the negative self-talk, take ownership and say, you know what? It's because it's not a priority. Either that or make it a priority and make time for it. This type of attitude puts us in the driver's seat of our life, so we don't feel like we're victims of circumstance, but we're in charge of how it goes. Next, choose abundance. The best way I found to do this is to start a gratitude practice. Every morning when you wake up, think about 3 things that you are grateful for and really feel the gratitude and the feeling of abundance for having those things. It sounds ridiculously simple, but sometimes simple is actually the most powerful. I gotta be honest with you, even though I have a lot of resources, I'm financially independent and have every reason to feel abundant, when I don't do this gratitude practice, I actually start getting sucked back into scarcity. So this actually has nothing to do with how much money you have in your bank. Abundance is just a state of being that you can choose to access now. Advice number 23, the people around you shape your future. As human beings, we are social creatures. We are so influenced by the mindsets, beliefs, or the habits of the people around us, whether they're good or bad. So take a good hard look at the people you spend the most time with and really ask yourself, are these people that you would want to become? Next, prioritize your relationships and friendships. No matter how successful you are, I would say if you don't have at least 1 or 2 people in your life that you can call to help you out in an emergency, pick you up from the airport, or come get you if you get locked out of your house in the middle of your night, then I would say you're not really successful. It's so important to have people in your life that you can trust. I guess the older that I get, and not saying that I'm that old at 36, I'm realizing that there is nothing more important than having good people in your life. In fact, all the stuff that we want, like the money and the cars and the nice things, it's all so that we can ultimately spend more time with the people that we love or experience more love and connection. That's what what I think it really comes down to. Number 25, not everyone will understand your growth, and that is okay. If you have big goals, you have a vision that's bigger and better than anything that people around you already have, then how can you expect them to understand when they've never done the things that you are doing? If you're up to big things, expect people to misunderstand you and even to judge you. And if they do, let them. Number 26, start a side hustle or an extra stream of income before you need it. Things always take time to build and start making money, and it's a lot easier to build something when you're not desperate. Number 27, not everyone has to know everything. By now, I've definitely had my share of friendship and relationship mishaps, and a lot of times looking back, it was because I shared certain things with people that I really didn't need to share with that specific person. Sometimes your problems, things that are going on with your partner or your family, sometimes that kind of information is best shared just with your therapist and nobody else. Because hey, sometimes people gossip. I'm not hating on anyone or saying that people are bad, but sometimes your personal business is your personal business and other people just don't need to know. Next up, your time is more valuable than money. So one way this could show up is if you work all the time just to make a little extra money or make even a lot of extra money, there is actually no amount of money that is worth your time. So really we need to strike the balance between working enough to have the money that we need while not wasting away our life working away from our family and missing all those precious moments and memories. Another way this could manifest is if you're really cheap with yourself and you spend hours clipping coupons, spend all day doing errands when you could easily pay someone a pretty reasonable hourly rate for them to do it for you. Yes, you're saving some money, but at what cost? At the cost of your time, right? Which at the end of the day is your life, and you can't get your life back. Number 29, set boundaries with your money. You do not have to say yes to every friend or family member who hits you up to help them out. You don't have to go to every destination wedding. Sometimes it's okay to let people down and have boundaries and just say no. First of all, no is just a complete sentence in and of itself. But another really easy way to say no when it comes to money is tell them what your financial priorities are instead. Hey, I really wish I could help you out, but I really am prioritizing paying off my debt right now. And so right now I'm going to have to say no. Number 30, budgeting is not deprivation, it is freedom. I've had an on and off relationship with budgeting, but every time I fall off the wagon, I come back to budgeting because I just realize more and more that budgeting is what allows me to actually YOLO. I want to go to festivals, I want to travel, I want to do fun things. And if I ever try to do it without at least maintaining some sort of plan or budget for my money, I get really stressed out and I always end up overspending or just getting myself into trouble. You can use an app like YNAB, that's one that I use. I swear by it and I love it. There's a little bit of learning curve to start learning to budget, but once you get over that hump, all it takes is 10-15 minutes a week, and it allows you to enjoy so many other things in your life while also not neglecting any of your bigger financial priorities long term. So remember that budgeting is freedom, it's not deprivation. Number 31 is to spend with intention, not guilt. So this is also where budgeting comes into play. If you've budgeted money for it, then go ahead and spend guilt-free. It just sucks to go out with your friends and spend money, but then also not really be enjoying it because you feel guilty about spending the money. Life is too short to feel guilty. Number 32, wanting money and wanting to be rich is not a bad thing. Wealth is actually amazing. Wealth is what allows me to fly my mom business class from the East Coast to LA to come see me so that she can stretch out her legs and not have knee pain. Wealth is what allows me to donate $10,000 to my favorite elephant sanctuary. Money is neutral. It's not good or bad. If it gets into the hands of the right people, then it can actually be an incredible force for good. Number 33, keep your word to yourself and to others. Have you ever said, I'll call you later, or, oh, I'll work out tomorrow, but you just never end up getting around to it? And these little moments don't seem like a big deal, but over time, it starts eroding at your confidence on your ability to follow through. And those little things actually translate to when you're trying to do bigger things like starting a business or going out and finding your soulmate. These are big life projects, goals that require you to show up consistently, right? So more than anything, keeping your word is more about building that confidence within yourself that you will show up for yourself. Next, be present while you eat. I used to be so bad with this. I would just be on my phone or watching Netflix or texting, or worse, driving while I'm eating. Because one day I realized if I'm just scarfing down my food and only half present while eating it, first of all, am I even digesting it properly? And secondly, by multitasking, I'm not fully enjoying doing either thing. So lately I've started removing screens while eating. I'll be conversing with my loved ones. The most I'll do is have a meal and have a conversation with people that I love, or be by myself and just do nothing but chew and eat and think about the food nourishing my body, going to all the body parts that need that nourishment the most. And honestly, it's been really, really fulfilling. Number 35, say no to the good things so that you can say yes to the best things. Ever since moving to LA last year, I had so many opportunities to go socialize and do all these fun things because LA is a big city. And I find that every time I say yes to a bunch of things that sound good, when the really fun thing comes along and I say yes to that, I can barely show up or have fun because I'm so tired. So only say yes to things that are like a hell yes. If it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. Advice number 36, you do not need to split the bill evenly. We live in a world where everybody has an opinion on how you should be living, what you should be doing in your relationship, who should be paying for what, etc. If you love the idea of being in a 50-50 relationship, or being in a relationship where you are the breadwinner, or you're in a relationship with someone who is a provider and takes care of you and you get to be at home taking care of the kids, whatever it may be, you can want what you want. And at this point, at age 36, I'm past the point of being sheepish about what I want. So that's it for my 36 pieces of advice that I wish I could go back in time and give 20-year-old Rose. But hey, I am where I am, and where I am is not so bad. A lot of the things I shared with you are things that I needed to remind myself of as well. So thanks for letting me share, and I really hope this helped. Remember, you are not behind. We are all running our own race. Life is beautiful. You're doing great, so let's embrace the journey. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!